Hi friends, Diane Tuggle here with the Happy Scrapbooker. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Eastern U.S. and I have some great card making and scrapbooking ideas to share. And today we're going to make a Christmas card called a tent fold card using Reindeer Fun suite. And so let's get started. This is how the card folds. So it has a flap inside, it has this brace, and it makes it stand up with this movement inside of it. And on the back of it is where you would write Merry Christmas, Love, Diane. So I've made a couple of samples here, and we're going to make another one. First I want to show you the papers, the beautiful papers that come in this suite. Let's look at the little deer. This is one that fits a die. So when you cut it out of the paper, you don't have to color anything. This one fits a die also right here, the reindeer that is flying. And these you would have to fussy cut. And then this is the other part of the back side of the papers. So there's some presents. There's a beautiful plaid. I love the jingle bells. I love these little deer and the holly and jumping reindeer and then the reindeer in the snow. So I'm going to put this paper away. I'm going to get started. Here is stamp set. So see, you can, these have matching dies go with them, as well as the bells and the Christmas tree. It has a really nice verse, and then it has these awesome dies. So I believe these are the presents. There's some jingle bells, twinkling lights, some holly, berries for the holly, a wreath that can go around this little deer's neck, a bow for the wreath, that's for the jingle bells, and that's a bow for the present. And then here we have a beautiful, I guess you would call it an arch, a bow oak arch, and then we have the jumping reindeer, and this is the other one that we're going to use today. So I'll put this away. I'll bring my pieces in. Okay, we have a card base that measures 12 inches by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 6. I know it's an odd size, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Whoops, that's the wrong piece. Then we have the designer series paper with the Christmas bells on it, or what do you call those? No, not bells, Christmas lights. Okay, so to add this is the trick for this card. You're just gonna put your glue on the very outside edge, and we're gonna center it on the front. And then we're going to open it up. This is the Deckled rectangle dies, and we are going to center that. There's my tape. Tape it in place and run it through the die cut machine. And that way, when we cut this out, we will have 2 pieces of paper that are not attached to each other, and we just need the white cardstock, not the designer series paper. So let me cut this out. I'll be right back. I'm going over here to my die cut machine. Get it in position. Crank, 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 crank. I ran it forward and backwards, so because it's cutting through 2 pieces of paper. I'm back. Take this Post-it tape off. Don't tear anything, Diane. Okay, here's your card front. Now, this piece right here, I cut the same size piece out of another piece of the Designer Series paper using the Deckled die. And we'll just put that to the side. And that's because this is going to go in the center with the deer on it. Now, I want to give you a little tip. When you cut out your deer and color them and all, and you don't want the back side to show, I just cut a matching piece of cardstock and I glue it on there. And this deer was colored with pecan pie light and dark, cherry cobbler for the ears, and then I used the color lifter to make the little spots on the back of the deer. And I know that's an adult deer, but look, this one has the dots on the back of it too that was in the Designer Series paper. So we'll decide which one of these we want to use. But right now I want to glue that on there so it'll be a little more supportive, because we're going to pop him up and we don't want him to cave in. Okay, we're going to let that dry. And we are going to take this piece that fits in here, and we're going to glue this paper with the trees. It's got trees on both sides, really. Right to this right to that piece. And then I cut a little piece of glitter paper that I had in my stash, or just a scrap. You could use just plain white paper. I just wanted it to look like snow, and so I'm going to add that. To the bottom of this little piece, and it's kind of centered in there. Go let that dry a minute and get my hinge over here. I got 2 hinges. Okay, this is the hinge for the back of this swinging panel, and it's simply 2 inches by 2 inches, scored it in the middle and fold it in half. And we are going to put some glue on it. We want it to stick really good. And we're going to center this to the top. Turn it over. And get that glued down. There we go. Now, this piece right here is the hinge that makes the tint so that it will stand up. So it is 4 3/4 by 4 inches. It's scored at 5/8 inch, 1 1/2 inches, 2 3/8 inches, 3 1/2 inches, and 4 1/8 inch. That one's not exactly right. Let me get another one. There, that one looks better. I was off on that one. So 5/8 inch goes up. 1 1/2, 2 3/8, 3 1/4, and 4 1/8. And it goes this way with this flap up, and we're going to add a little bit of liquid glue right here, and we're going to put it on the inside bottom, squeeze it all together and center it. Bring it all the way to the bottom. Now let that dry. And the tent card, I'll show you another one. You can see the back, the inside back of this tent card. You can see I've made quite a few different varieties. So we need to have a back panel, and we are going to use these trees. And you're going to line it up right down to the bottom there. You're going to cover up that seam. So behind your hanging flap will be the trees. So now we're going to fold this forward, and we're going to put some more glue on this hinge. And don't worry about the measurements. I'll put them in the description for you. And we are just simply going to fold this card closed and press on it until the adhesive sticks. Now we're going to decide which deer we want to use on this. Do we want to use the green one? Ooh, that's kind of pretty. With the snowflakes. Or do we want to use the one I colored? Both of them are pretty. But I think this time I'm going to use this one. So we're going to decorate this first. Got it up on dimensionals, mini dimensionals. Golly, I hate taking those things off. Where's my take your pick tool? Come on off of there. Got enough of them on here so that it won't collapse when it's mailed. One more. Okay. And put the son of this guy down here so he's on this in the snow a little bit. And their tails are going to stick up a little bit, but once you get them in there, it won't make any inside. It won't make any difference. And we are going to add some snowflakes. So I'm going to put one snowflake, and I've put a clear sparkle right on it, and I have it on a dimensional. I'll stick it right there. And then this one, we're just going to lay it flat, a little dot of glue, put it on the tree. It looks like it's snowing. Now, we're going to add this. So, put some more white glue on here. And we are going to stick it right in the center. Line it up, make sure it doesn't go past the thing. And kind of tuck it in and get them little tails in. Okay, what this does, it just gives it a way to hang loose and kind of flip back and forth. So you can see it has movement and got the trees behind it. So now we're going to put another snowflake up here in the corner. We're going to get it in just so that it doesn't hit the envelope. And then I have a greeting from the stamp set. And we want to put that on here. And so I'm going to put it, a little glue right there, a little right there, a little right there. And I'm not too sure how high up I want this. Let's see. I'll bring them down so their feet show. There. And I did cut a piece of ribbon. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. To put on here, but I don't think it needs the ribbon. That'll take away from the greeting. I don't think it needs the ribbon. No, I think it takes away from it, so we're not going to use the ribbon this time. So, there is your tent flap card, and the back of it is where I would write Merry Christmas, Love Diane. And here is the one I did before, using an old designer series paper, which is still in our catalog. And then here is another one. And you can see that I put them down a little low, and I didn't use any snow. But when I saw this paper, I knew I needed more glitter. So I had to have some snow. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give it a try. And also I want to say that this is my first time making a video ever. And to please be kind, not be too critical. I know sometimes I'm off camera. I know my voice is scratchy. But I'm working on it. And I'm going to get there. Thanks, ladies. Have a good day.